What up, everybody? We're back off season 5. Today, we're talking about irons and what's in the bag. I'm really excited. It's been a while to try and dial in the bag properly, and I think what's cool about this off season in particular is that my swing is in such a great spot, my physical fitness is in such a great spot, that I feel like I can finally take advantage of fitting myself to gear that I really, really love. And so if you haven't seen my driver build video yet, I'm really pumped with where the bag is headed, and particularly with the irons, and my 2 new irons came in today to complete the set. We're gonna hit balls in the simulator. I'm gonna take you through kind of the gapping and everything we're doing, because honestly, I'm pumped. Now, what we're doing for 2025 in terms of the irons is we're going with Srixon ZX7 MkIIs from pitching wedge to 6 iron. Now, I'm very surprised that these have ended up in my bag. I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason being is that for OGs of the channel, you would have seen I got fit for Srixon Z7 MkIIs and Srixon Z-Forge combo set back in 2020. And I'll be honest, I really struggled with those irons. I feel like those actually set me back on my under par journey. And when I was kind of going through that challenge, I kind of makeshifted a swing that worked with those irons, but as soon as I could move off of them, I did. I don't know why. There was something about that setup that just never really meshed with me. And so I kind of wrote off Srixons entirely. Until I started playing with a guy out here named Kevin Stinson, absolutely phenomenal player, and has kind of become a bit of a local, well, he's definitely a local legend here, but has really cemented himself in Canadian pro golf as one of the first players to win 3 very prestigious pro tournaments here nationally. And I see him play with these irons, and the ball's on a rope. Now, obviously, he's very talented, and his skill set is incredible. He's not a guy that messes around. You know, he's very diligent with his process, and so when I saw him using these, I was like, you know what? It kind of filed that in the back of my head that I should probably give them another look. So fast forward, I'm on Facebook Marketplace, and I see these irons go up for sale. They're Srixon ZX7s, MkIIs, Tour Issue X100 shafts, pitching wedge to 6 iron, and they're a smoking deal. So I hit save, and I file it, you know, in the back of my head, and I go about my day. I go to the range that night. My buddy Bryce is there, and he's like, hey man, I'm testing out these irons. What do you think? Well, it turns out to be the exact same set I had seen on Marketplace that day. He had picked them up from the guy selling them. He knew them, it was his buddy, and so he was testing them out. So I go, okay, I'm obviously gonna try these. Like, there's no chance I'm letting these fly without trying them. So I hit them, and I immediately start launching them. So Bryce decides he doesn't want them. I go, okay, I'm taking these. These are going home.
Oh, so
these are going home. These are going home, Bryce. We're going home. Okay, now we gotta go drop off cash and pick up the rest of these. Because why not? I grabbed the 3 irons he had, run home, grab cash, run over to Alan's place, pay him, and got these in my possession. So for the last 2 months, I have had Srixon ZX7 MkIIs that were actually built on a tour truck. They were basically brand new when I got them. X100 tour issues, and I love them. I love them, and I am very shocked. Again, coming from the Z7 MkIIs, I don't know what they've changed, but the feel is phenomenal. Now, this presented me with a bit of a problem / decision to make is what was I going to do with the 5 and the 4 iron? Was I going to get another MkII to pair up with these? Do I go that throughout the bag, or do I go with something maybe a little more forgiving? One thing I thought of is that, I need to make my life a little bit easier when it comes to golf and some of the gear choices I make. For the past 6 months, I've been playing Nike blades, and the reason why I picked those is because they're very hard to hit, and when I was going through my swing change, I wanted something that was gonna kind of hammer me if I wasn't doing things correctly. I needed to hit out of the center of the face. Now that I'm progressing out of that, I wanna score, I wanna play tournaments, I know my swing is in a good spot, and I'm making really good contact. I'd like something that kind of can offer me a little more forgiveness when I'm under the gun. What I love about these is that you get that kind of forgiving feel, but it still very much feels like a blade forged club. I think, what I didn't like about the i230s that I was playing before was that they felt like they had too much help. They felt like you could kind of hit it anywhere, but I couldn't also tell where I was hitting it. And the feedback wasn't there. With these, when you hit these like out the middle, there's like a solid feel that just like, it hits, and it feels really good. Like it gives you a sense of confidence. And so I have loved them. But I thought, you know what? Let's make our life a little easier. Let's order Srixon ZXI 5s for the 5 iron and the 4 iron. Now these just came in yesterday. We've got the tour issue shafts in them. But I did make one crucial error when ordering these. I made one big mistake, and that is my entire set is logo down, and I forgot to put logo down on the grips for these. So I have logo up grips in my 5 and my 4 iron, and logo down for everything else, which is semi-disappointing. But these are brand new in the wrapper, have not hit them yet, so we're gonna take them to the sim and hit them. I'm really excited. The reason why I went with the ZX5 in the 5 and 4 iron is one, because I couldn't order the ZX7 MkIIs in time. They had stopped making them, and Strixon had kind of shut down orders in prep for this launch. So I didn't get to test them. To be honest, I don't know if these even work yet as I'm recording this video. I have an inkling that they're gonna work. I like how the loft progression works. It basically gaps almost perfectly. And I get a little more forgiveness and potentially a little more height out of my 5 and my 4 iron while doing this. So we're gonna unwrap these right now, right in front of you, because what is better than a nice brand new fresh iron? Oh, look at that. How pure does that look? Despite the fact that this has quite a bit of help at the back, the top line and everything blends perfectly, and they kind of look like the exact same from the top. Like there's not a huge difference. You know, it doesn't look like you've gotten this club that just like has so much more help that it's almost like it turns you off. So my hope is that from a feel perspective, it blends, because that would be absolutely incredible. And if I could get this off, look at this. Look at that, that's the 5 iron right there. Absolutely unreal. Okay, that's enough talking. Let's jump in the sim and let's hit some balls. All right, let's hit some shots. Now we've been kind of sitting for a little bit, but this should be a good test of kind of, you know, how quickly you can get up to speed with these. I just love, and you know what's nice about these two? Pretty decently long blade length, but they don't feel like too chunky. And like when you have this much blade length, you kind of get used to seeing it. And it's similar to what the i230s were, and it just leads to a lot of confidence. Let's get a little warmed up here. Like, I just love how these feel. You know? Like, I can't really ask for more than that out of a pitching wedge. That's what you want. That's all I want, right there, pitching wedge. Anyway. All right, we'll jump to 7 iron. Same kind of vibe. And again, I just love the weight, the build, the feel. Like a little, you know, scoopy on that one. It's not terrible, but like, I'll take that as a miss. Like, that's not a good swing, but that is so much, that's in play. Like, that's not gonna kill me, you know? And I think that's the thing I'm looking for with these irons is like, as I'm kind of hitting raw and not incredibly warmed up right now, like, I need something that's gonna make my life easier. You know? There you go. And that's kind of what a stock 7 iron looks like. That felt good. That's kind of the money right there. You know? 4 down. I've been working a lot on getting my attack angle down. One of the things that I was struggling with my swing in particular is I was too shallow. And so what's been nice actually with having the new, like the VT sole back, the way this comes in and out of the turf is absolutely phenomenal. And because I'm steeper now, you know, we've been working on basically being a minimum of 4 down with irons, because in order to kind of hit the draws I need to hit, get the impact conditions where I want, I need to be down like that and kind of covering the ball. And so, like, I can't really ask more than this. Like, this is perfect. let's move into the new stuff. This is my first time hitting the 5-iron. Like I said, I ordered this club and my 4-iron without ever trying them. This was purely a shotgun decision. First impressions is it looks good. Like let me get the 6-iron and let's actually do a side by side. Yeah, they look like it looks like it belongs. Maybe a touch, like, you know, there's a touch more offset in the ZXi, but not enough to like freak you out. You know? Yeah, I don't mind it. You know what? It blends nicely. The weight feels good. And yeah, it feels good. The only thing is, like, I screwed up is I got logo up, which I'm very disappointed in myself. All right, first 5-iron with the ZXi 5s. Oof, crunch that. Pulled it a little left, but sweet. That felt great. That felt very like sweet off the face. And that's nice. It's actually a little sweeter than what the ZX7 feels like. The ZX7 feels more like a blunt instrument, like a hammer. This feels like it's got just a touch, it's just a touch nicer. That's the best way I can explain it. Just feels a touch more like pleasant. Okay. That wasn't a particularly good strike. Still pulled that. And still went quite far. So that was like, that's kind of the forgiveness I'm looking for. You know, if I can get some forgiveness, that's the forgiveness I want. That's gonna go left. Wow. Okay, so that's not a hot pull. That's really cool. This is, you know what? I am very pleased with that. Because that's, for me, right, what I'm going to be using the 5 and the 4-iron for is par 3s and approaches into par 5s. If I mishit it, like having this is a phenomenal. Like that's a great miss. I'll take this kind of a miss all day. Let's see if I can start this one just a touch more to the right. Let me get a feel here. There we go. Touch fat, but I will take that every day of the week. 5-iron, good start. Okay, let's try the 4-iron. Yeah, 4-iron, it looks good. For me, actually, if this has a little more juice, I think what also too, the 4-iron can do for me is give me another option off the tee on maybe some short par 4s where there's some really tight tree line ones here, and if I can, you know, put an aggressive swing on an iron and not have to worry about it kind of getting away from me, then that would be really great as like having just another tool in the arsenal. Okay. Okay, that felt like a pull. That's very much a pull. So that is me, that's pilot error. That's terrible. But not like super snappy, but it's probably the worst I can hit it. Okay, 2 bad swings in a row. This is what we got to get adjusting for. Hold that. That felt pretty good. I'll take that all day. Slight pull. There's something up with this 4-iron. I'm gonna go get the loft and the lie checked. the build, this wasn't custom built. This was built at the Strixon warehouse. So I'm curious if there's something off with this because I am pulling this more than my 5-iron. But in terms of feel and in terms of looks, this is great. I just need to kind of sort out and get comfortable with it. That's awesome. Like, that's great. These are awesome. And honestly, I'm really happy with how the testing went. I did not know what to expect because this is literally the first time I'm hitting the ZXi5s. I kind of shotgun ordered them. So, I just want to get the 4-iron checked for loft lies and maybe swing weight because I am pulling it a little disproportionately more than I am the 5-iron. So I just want to see if maybe something might be slightly off. But again, small thing we can fix. Now the reason I kind of shotgun this iron situation versus maybe more thoroughly testing because, I'm a very performance-driven person, but sometimes I go about testing things in weird ways. I felt like this move was actually the best financial to performance way of going about it, to be honest. I got such a crazy deal on those ZX7s that I almost couldn't pass it up. And adding these in, paying retail for them, basically the total cost of this iron set is about 50% of what I would have paid at retail for these brand new, if I got the full set brand new with these shafts. So, part of this is performance and then part of this is just fiscally trying to figure this out and keep things going because in the midst of trying to pursue this crazy dream, I'm also leading a new golf company. So finances are just interesting as an entrepreneur. And so I have to kind of manage cash flow, and this felt like the best apex of performance to cost for me. And as you guys know, if something doesn't work for me, I'm gonna get rid of it. I am not gonna appease something simply for price. I will find a way to improve it if it needs improving. But with that, I actually feel like I may have hit the lottery here and I'm finally maybe out ahead without having to spend the coin. And that's a huge, huge benefit for me right now. And honestly, as you guys have seen from my course vlogs, the ball striking's been great. So I really don't have any complaints. Like, I definitely feel like I've leveled up from a factor of having the ZX7s in the bag. And I think adding the ZXi5s is just gonna give me that little extra boost of confidence when it comes to long par 3s and approaches into par 5s. Just knowing I got a little extra help and a little extra forgiveness. And I think going into tournament season when, I'm gonna need a little more confidence, I think it's a perfect situation for me. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Join me on my journey to become a pro golfer and figure out this wonderful game that we all love. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace.